Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Skillet coming to you from X4 Foundations. And that's right, let's talk. But before we get into the let's talk, if you do like the series of the Let's Talks, you like the channel, think just putting a like up there, right? If you find yourself coming back, or you find yourself with a question or a quandary or, suggestion, throw it in the comments. I do try to get to the comments. If it is a problem that you are having with the universe, or you can't figure something out, either me or some of the other people that have played the game equally as long, or maybe even a little longer than I have, can also answer that question for you. Maybe it's something they did before. You never know. But if you keep coming back to the channel, think about throwing up a subscribe there. What's the worst that can happen? You come across a video that actually blows your mind? Like, I don't know, a drone carrier? It's still gonna be there. Before the H, and I will say, in the current universe, H's are a little more rare. We may have depleted some of their existences. Sectors. Yeah, we killed a bunch. But let's talk about the Cutlass. And the Cutlass is going to be the ship that does replace a good chunk of our fighting force. But there are 3 different variations of the Cutlass. Now, this is the Cutlass that that's not the button. This is the Cutlass that you find after you do the Timelines mission. Now, this one it's a well-balanced Cutlass. It's something that I like. I do think it is pretty well balanced. We were able to take down this SE pretty quick to make it bail. We had a failed experiment over here, but this one happened a whole lot faster than what I was expecting in all reality. But this is a ship that I have used. I've taken down turrets, I've taken down engines on a K. Sometimes it can be a little time consuming because of the weaponry that you do have. It's not very, you can't really mix match. And this is the only mix match that you can do. You can do the HEP and you can do the electromagnetic gun. And they both have their quirks, their purposes, and everything in life. And that's the three different variations that you can really do. Now, this first variation on this far left is just the electromagnetic gun. And then this one is just the HEP. And then, of course, this one is the mix. This is the one that we are currently in now. That's the one you find in the universe. Nothing else except for your maneuvering thrusters can be changed on this ship. So everything else is going to be kind of like a blank slate. It's all uniform. Now, the HEP is also on the experimental shuttle. And if you remember that video, they can overheat rather quickly. So let's go here. So the HEP also has a lower damage output. You're doing 50 damage to the shield. You're doing 50 damage to the hull. You have an effective range of 3.9. Your overheat is pretty quick. Your cooldown, I think, is actually really fast, especially when you take a look at what we did with the experimental shuttle, and then we were able to flutter between the 2 weapon systems at a time. I do believe that cooldown rate is super fast. And this weapon system is good for being able to, you know, tickle your opponent. If you want them to bail, this would be the one that you can just, you know, cat and mouse with the enemy until they do bail. And if you actually go after Xenon, SEs, well, all the Xenons actually repair pretty quick. From what I was just doing before the video, I was actually a little shocked about how fast an SE could repair itself. That's cool in one way, but you no longer have the ability to just have the AI on the ship, which I really think Egosoft should bring back, because I like not having pilots on those ships. Yeah, that was a cool time in the beta. It was. Now, if we take a look at the electromagnetic gun, we're doing a whole lot more damage to the shield into the hull. However, your trade-off here is fire rate. Now, your heat buildup is ridiculously slow. You're probably not gonna heat it up to a point where you're not able to use it ever, especially with just having 2 on your ship. It's gonna be difficult. Cooldown rate, you know, I don't think it really matters. You have a effective range of 3, so this is a little shorter of a range. It's a slower projectile altogether as well. It says 3,000 seconds. Let's see. Oh, meters a second. Ha ha ha. That HEP. Who's the HEP? You're throwing so much down range. I feel like that is... because you can't really just do one-on-one. It doesn't feel that it's slower. It doesn't. It doesn't. Now, another thing about the Cutlass, if you use it as your personal ship, I gotta get in the pilot seat. Is you have limited traversal rate.
SE.
I think a better way would be to do it to this. Let's back out to... it's roughly my engagement range. Let's put it there.
SE.
Let's just lower. Okay, now let's do it. Right? So they've really got to be in a pretty small kill box to be able to keep them in line with your weapons, which is not a horrible thing as long as you are piloting the craft. But I'm actually very curious about how that's going to be when we actually get our fighter wings into combat. And right now we have 1, and this is based off the mixed structure, so the HEP and the electromagnetic. How we have this flight: we have 1 lead ship, we have 2 attack with commanders, and then 2 intercepts. I did the intercept command because to pick a different target other than the commander. And at that point, maybe I should actually make it a flight of 6, so 3 on 3. That might be a decent idea. They all go the same speed, but it could put same firepower or another set of fire. Well, you know, maybe that's what I'll do. 3 on 3, so 3 intercept and 3 just attack. That doesn't seem like it's a bad idea. But that's how we have them. And we haven't put them through their combat paces yet. Now, the Xenon have actually been getting a little antsy in their pantsy, as we can see here. We did lose the equipment dock, and we lost some other station. I think it was an ore refinery, I believe. So we did pull in the 501st, and we did pull in, gosh, I'm gonna hate myself because I can't remember the name. The fleet of free acquisitions, so the 453rd. They are both here at this gate now, just because the Xenon were, it was what? It was 3 Ks, 1 I, and a big swarm. We need to be able to try to limit that. And what we'll do is for, it's the wrong one, the 501st, we'll start replacing some of these ships. Too bad I can't replace, I can. I'll replace the commanders onto the cutlasses as well, or the captains. But for those of you that have used the cutlass in your games, you used it as a fighter craft in your fleets. What did you find worked best? Was it the HEP? Was it the electromagnetic gun? Or was it the combination of the two? Do you do anything specific with them? Because this is a new fleet that we are going to try out. And we're going to try to start a little small to see how they do. They're not... Out of the 501st, what is the Nodan? So actually, let's take a look. I believe we have a mixture of Sentinels and... Thanks. Well, we're probably doing that. Let's see. Yeah, so the Cutlass is at a slight disadvantage in terms of like hull, and its shields are better. Speed. But we can outmaneuver things. Which is great. But how do you guys utilize the Cutlass in your own fleets? Is it electro, HEP, or is it a mixture of the both? Is there any like specific orders that you give them? I know in a comment 2 videos ago, I believe 2 videos ago, there was a comment saying that they use it for anti-piracy. What do you guys think about the Cutlass? I do believe the interior is actually pretty well done, and this is something that we did talk about before.
Cutlass.
Ma'am.
The storage hatches and things like that. But throw up a comment if you've actually used it in your game. If you use it as a personal ship, let me know. But this is gonna be Skillet signing out for now. I hope to bring you a Cutlass 2.0 video when they get into the fleet and we can actually see them go to work. But I'll be signing out for now. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you watch.